Welcome back to another episode of Coffee Meets Vodka. I'm your host, Raya, and I'm handling life one shot at a time. Sit back, relax, let's talk all things pop culture, celebrities, gossip, trends, and let's become best friends. What? I'm just saying what everyone else is thinking. Welcome back, guys. Another day, another episode. I'm so excited to be here. If you are not already, please follow me at coffee.meets.vodka on Instagram and on TikTok, at Coffee Meets Vodka on YouTube. The video quality is amazing. The studio is great. My mannerisms are really great, and I'm animated. So if you guys are only doing audio, you're missing out on another layer of goodness. And follow anywhere you get podcasts, Apple, Spotify, anywhere else, Coffee Meets Vodka podcast. Leave us a 5-star rating. We work really hard on the show. If you want to be a guest on the show, go to the link in the bio to fill out the guest form. I would be happy to have you on, and we'll get that set up. We don't have a brews and booze today. I am drinking more bubbler, and you guys kind of ripped me for saying this crazy word, which is like another word for dragon fruit, Pitaya, pitia, or whatever. You guys kind of ripped me for that, and I thought that was so funny. But yeah, I am drinking that, but no brews and booze today. But bubbler is so good. If you guys are, looking for a caffeinated sparkling water, it's really good. I feel like we have a short episode today, but I kind of want to talk about this event that I went to. And I've been having a lot of downloads. Yesterday was 11/11, and it's another portal open to manifest kind of like your best life and everything. I did an amazing meditation with Mystic Michaela. She's the host of Know Your Aura podcast. If you haven't listened, you guys should. I am like in the trenches on the spiritual aura, stuff, and I'm really into it. The Facebook group is great. It's actually like one of the least toxic Facebook groups that I've ever been a part of, and I just think that shows that a lot of people are really trying to like pursue their higher selves and everything like that. The 11/11 meditation was really powerful. I actually feel good because I was feeling drained to shit, and it made me feel good that like as soon as everybody popped on, everybody was like, is anybody else feeling like so drained over the last couple of weeks and especially today? And I was like, oh my God, yeah, it literally took everything in me to like just get it together yesterday. And I went to the office and just like tried to like get out of bed and like work and like be productive because I wanted to harness the energy. Mind you, not only was it 11/11, yeah, we're in Scorpio season, but it was a Pisces moon, and Capricorn entered Venus, and I'm very excited about that because I have those placements, and I know I'm speaking gibberish, but that's okay, just listen. Did the meditation. It didn't go that well because it was not even raining. There was like not a cloud in the sky, I tell you, and my electricity flickered and like everything went off, and I felt like I was in a little witch coven, and it kind of scared me a bit. So I don't know. I had my sage going, I had my incense going, and maybe it was just a little too powerful. Who knows? Which hopefully that means, what I'm was manifesting is like trying to come true. A lot of people don't really do the manifest thing. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Kind of same with the crystals. Like I tried to get into crystals. They didn't really work for me, to be honest. Like I charged it with the moon and I did the whole like moon water it didn't. Yeah. So I'm with you. Like but crystals are pretty rocks. Like I like them as decoration, and like if they have good energy and it brings money, health, wealth, happiness, love, like I'm all for it. But do I think it's like, rebuke in the name of bad spirits? No, I don't really think so. I think only God can do that, So that was good. Got to get together with, the tribe, do a good meditation, and also I kind of want to talk about that because this has been on my mind for a while. The art of detachment. I've been talking about it a decent amount of therapy. I feel like it's kind of came up as a theme for me in my life over the past like couple of weeks. And the meditation was about calling back your energy, like all of the pieces that you've, given to other people, other projects, other things. You're like really calling that energy back and then detaching from outcomes. And I was like, wow, this is literally what I've been working on in therapy over the last like couple of weeks, is like detaching from the outcome. I had a conversation with another friend a couple of weeks ago and wanted to get him on the pod as well, talking about like the art of detachment. And I think that is really important. I feel like at some point I used to be better at detaching from the outcome. It's always good to get a refresher. It's just really important to try to live in the present. And I know for anxious people, it's very hard. It's very hard for me to live in the present, but I'm doing my best. And I think it was a good reminder and a good refresher to take a deep breath, to go with the flow, send the text, buy the car, book the trip, be in the now. Don't wait on other people to kind of dictate your life, which also kind of goes into what I was going to say is that I went to an event on Saturday over this past weekend by myself. I had signed up a couple of weeks ago because, I've been trying to make more girlfriends and just like friends in general and people. It's always fun to like go out, kind of have something planned because if you go, you can always leave. Like, this is what I don't get about people. Like, they're like, oh, I don't know who's going to be there. What's the vibe? What are we wearing? Bitch, if you're not interested, if you like walk in, immediately walk out if you don't want to be there. Like, I have done that. Okay, maybe I haven't done that, but I've definitely been somewhere for like 5 minutes and then I've like left because I'm like, not the vibe, You can always leave, like just go. I didn't have anybody to go with. I think I asked like 2 people. I was like, hey, I already bought my ticket to this. If you want to go, they're like, what is it? I'm like, I don't know, but I'm going. And it was just like a girl group meetup. There were some vendors. I got this amazing charm necklace from one of the vendors there. It's so cute. I just think it was like really cool to like connect with people. Now, did I meet my new best friend? No, but it was nice to be there and like support and get more involved in the community. And it was shocking. The bartender was like, oh, who you here with? I was like, oh, I'm just like by myself, like literally showed up by myself. She was like, oh my God, that takes so much confidence. Like, good for you, blah, 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 like giving me a bunch of flowers. And I was like, oh yeah, thanks. Like, I think I don't really think about that anymore because I just go to places by myself. And there was a time where I was petrified, just like anybody else, as extroverted as I am, to go places by myself or to talk to people. And I remember I started this in my 20s, like my early 20s. I'm going to say like 21. I remember going to the bar, which bar culture or like club culture is like not a thing anymore. But I remember when, I would go, I would make a like vow to myself. I'm like, okay, like talk to 5 people, like just talk to 5 people. Okay, talk to 5 people, get 3 numbers, like whatever. Like just like, you start little by little and you just kind of build up that like small confidence. Like, okay, go order a drink by yourself if you have like severe anxiety or like, okay, go sit at, Chick-fil-A by yourself and eat in the booth. Like, nobody's judging you, okay? And honestly, like, nobody's thinking about you and caring about you as much as you're caring about yourself. And I know that's hard to hear. And I'm like, what do you mean the world revolves around me specifically? But like, it is true. Like, nobody gives a fuck. I just think that we should not wait on people to start living your life. If you wait on people to live your life, like, you're never going to live your life. If you wait for a man to like, oh, I'm not going to go to Europe until I have a husband or a boyfriend, and I'm not going to buy a house. I only want to buy a house with my husband, and blah, blah, blah. Bitch, you're going to be 45 still living in a shoe. We just need to make decisions on our own, and you cannot wait on other people to live your life. If you want to go to the event, if you want to go to the movies, if you want to go to Europe, if you want to do X, Y, and Z, if you want to buy the house, do it. And don't wait on others to live your life. And I think that is the lesson. The lesson is to just do and detach from the outcome. And speaking to the women specifically, there's this whole thing going around about the 4B movement. It's this, movement that started in South Korea where 4Bs, it's like something in Korean, but it's basically like no sex, no dates, no men, and something else with a B. But basically saying that like until you find your equal partner, it doesn't even have to be a partner, but until you find somebody who is like equal to you, like stop dumbing down your standards, because the women in South Korea, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure this is what the movement was about. The men were like, you have to wear makeup, you have to wear these corsets, you have to wear these shoes, et cetera, et cetera. And they basically have like rebelled against that. And they're like, no, we're literally not doing that anymore. And not only are we not doing that, we're like not getting married. We're celibate. We're, moving on. We're doing what we want to do. And I think that that's really important. And, and I was doing that, I guess, before I realized a lot of women were doing that before I guess they realized it was like a real movement. But a lot of Americans have hopped on, especially after the election. I do think that that's great because like hate men, you know what I mean? So I'm like trying to be nice. I like talk about this in therapy. I'm like, no, like I want to get married eventually. Like, but you know, my therapist is like, okay, you can't hate everybody. And I'm like, oh, okay, but I do. It's like so sad. But I just think it's like not lowering your standards. And I think it's great. And I think women can do anything. There's a lot of misogyny in this country. And there's a lot of like deep rooted misogyny in our American culture. And I think that it's great that women are taking a stand. To be honest, we don't really like need the men. I just think that we can do like whatever on our own. Like, why are you here? So I think it's a good reminder, refresher to just really make sure that you're picking the right partner and relationships. And you know, maybe it's because I live in the South, but like relationships are not end all be all. And people in the South, I've talked about this before, but they just hold so much weight about like marriage and relationships and kids. And like, not everybody wants that. It's okay to not want that. Who says that we can't make our own rules and like buy properties with our girlfriends and, you know, with our other friends? And, you know, especially like for somebody like me being in real estate, it's like, it's an investment. And like a lot of my friends are in real estate too. And it's like, I encourage people, you know, because we are in like dual income economy, to be honest, and it is tough. So, you know, if you don't want to wait on a man to buy a house and you need another income, like see if one of your friends would be interested. I mean, I think that's like a really good idea. I would recommend putting it in an LLC or something of that nature. Don't wait on other people to start your life. Okay, get this. Monica Garcia of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City is ordered to pay $35,000 to Heather Gay and Beauty Lab and Laser. What? Babe, that's crazy. Her bill was only like $2,500 and she was like, I can't pay, like blah, blah, blah. And then remember, she like made multiple profiles. Okay, if you don't know who Monica Garcia is, which I'm sure you do, but she was the internet sleuth that was like outing all of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, like T, and like Jen Shah's assistant and like blah, blah, blah. And last season on their finale, Heather Gay found out and receipts, proof, timeline. And by the way, I have to say that was the last time I took these really potent CBD gummies. I had the worst trip of my life and I thought that I was going to have to call the ambulance, and I have not touched that shit since, and it was really petrifying. Monica Garcia, you almost killed me. I don't like that. Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Monica Garcia in shock after losing court battle against Heather Gay. It was a bad decision. After Monica Garcia is in shock after a Utah judge ruled in favor of Heather Gay's Beauty Lab in their legal battle, which began at the med spa, and sued Garcia over failing to pay her lip injection bill. Because, you know, she made like multiple accounts with like different last names and then would get, you know, filler here, whatever. And I guess Heather, I don't know, it's giving like hands off of your business. I don't know, but I don't know how you didn't know that Monica was like coming in. Like you guys didn't see her, like even though her name was different, she didn't look the same. I don't know. I was a question mark there. Former Housewives Salt Lake City star responded to the official decision via her Instagram stories on Wednesday, revealing that she withheld her reaction Tuesday in light of the 2024 presidential election. I didn't feel it appropriate to even comment on the situation yesterday, considering what was happening in our country, the things that actually matter. However, waking up this morning, I still don't find it appropriate, but wow, Garcia began. The fact that this lawsuit was even news on a day like yesterday says a lot. I'm in shock this morning. There's so much going on around us right now. There's so much happening in our country, and the world is astounding me that this lawsuit is even on anyone's radar, but here we are. Okay, girl. Yeah, of course it's on the radar. We want to talk about something else other than the election. As part of the judge's ruling, Garcia was ordered to pay $35,853.60 to Gay and Beauty Lab and Laser. The total reflects the Beauty Lab's principal asking amount of $2,000. That's crazy. She could have only paid $2,000 and now she has to pay $35,000. $2,000 with interest calculated at 18%, $604.98 in costs and fees associated with the lawsuit, and Gay's attorney fees, which added up to $31,550. Garcia noted that her attorneys commented on the judgment on her behalf. This was a shocking and bad decision. We have every intention of appealing and are confident in outcome moving forward. Babe, pay the $2,000. I don't know. That's great. You could have taken out like a loan phone or something. You could have asked somebody else, Peter to pay Paul. I mean, you didn't learn anything from Jin Shah, it sounds like, to be honest, because that was like a waste of an assistant, an apprenticeship, to be honest, because now not only, like, you could have just paid $2,000 and now you got to pay $35,000. Honestly, what a win for Heather Gay and Beauty Lab and Laser. I'm kind of into that. Salt Lake City is good. I mean, I'm a little behind. I am loving Bronwyn. I just can't believe that like Jin Shah will probably be back on our screens in like 3 years. I mean, that's like crazy to me. And Mary, like now all of a sudden, ugh, I don't like Mary. You guys, what's going on with her son? Every time she or any part of her family is on my screen, I literally get almost physically ill. I get a chill down my spine. Her son is doing something other than weed. There's no way. What is wrong with that guy? Like, get him help. And she's like, he can't work right now because of his addiction. And it's like, she's just enabling. And where's the dad, the step grandpa father? Like, what's going on there? Benny Blanco is named People's Sexiest Man Alive. Okay. I am glad that Selena Gomez has found somebody who really dotes on her and who really loves her. Like, every time he talks, I definitely see the appeal. So maybe we should give the ugly guy a chance. The gag is, I do be giving the ugly guy a chance and they still fuck me over. So what's going on? I deserve the hot guy who's gonna fuck me over anyways, okay? If you're gonna fuck me over, you might as well be hot and have a fucking six-pack, okay? I digress. I am glad they're actually really cute together, Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco. He is really talented. I think he is, well, I'm not going to say that, but he is really talented. I find it interesting, the dynamic between, because he was Justin Bieber's producer and like wrote a bunch of songs. He's very talented. I do think that he is really sweet with her and, she deserves somebody like that. So like, I get it. I'm here for it. I ship it. And I think that's really cute. But Sexiest Man Alive, I really think they just try to pick somebody who's like the most popular. Like, it's definitely not Sexiest Man Alive because they've had some flops. I can't think of any right now, but I definitely know, like, Brad Pitt has been Sexiest Man Alive like 16 times or something. Like, you're just like picking shit. I don't know. It's like, I don't even really think Brad Pitt, I mean, sure. Like, I guess at 32, like, I would totally bang Brad Pitt. I mean, who wouldn't? Come on. Ooh, in other news, not watching, but Real Housewives of Dubai is put on pause. I have not watched since season 1. It was boring. That's all I have to say about that. And I guess, the audience spoke because I forgot that it was even on this season and now it's on pause. So that's, it is what it is, but we have Real Housewives of London coming next year. I'm very excited for that. Caroline Stanbury, is on Real Housewives of Dubai. She started on Ladies of London, which is the reboot that we wanted, but we're getting Real Housewives of London instead. It'll be fine. I kind of want her to go back, to be honest, but she said she'll never go back to London. She really likes Dubai. Alexia Umansky of Kyle Richards of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and Mauricio Umansky of The Agency and Buying Beverly Hills is engaged to her longtime boyfriend. That's very exciting. Very excited and happy for you. Big congratulations. I'm still really salty that they canceled Buying Beverly Hills after it was only 1 season, right? I mean, that was like the best show. That one, Sell It Like Sarant, Owning Manhattan, $1 million listings. I wonder what's going to happen because I just finished the season. Josh Flagg is now at Compass, and Compass doesn't let you film unless they change their rules. So I don't know if he's going to be on $1 million listings next year. And Josh and Heather Altman have stepped away from $1 million listings on Bravo to focus on like their family more, and I guess their business, like, it's just too much filming the show. So now it only leaves Tracy Tudor, but like, what's gonna happen? I love $1 million listings. I don't know. So TBD on that. I'll have to keep you posted, but I'm kind of bummed. Alexia, congratulations on your engagement. You deserve it. Okay, guys, speaking of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, it's gonna premiere soon and I'm so excited. They dropped the 7-minute trailer. I haven't really watched it, my bad. But, Dorit is the villain this season. A lot of people say that I kind of act like Dorit. I don't know if that's like good or bad. People hate her. She's like not with it. I think like I'm a more socially aware Dorit, right? But I think they just say that I remind them of Dorit with like the outfits and the voice and like my mannerisms, not so much social issues. I'm excited to watch that. This is crazy. I know that this has taken the internet by storm. Zach Bryan and Brianna Chickenfry have overshadowed of the election news. And that I'm so grateful for. It's the messiest breakup of all time, to be honest. If you don't know, Brianna Chickenfry has a couple podcasts with Barstool. She has one with Dave Portnoy and Josh Richards, BFF's pod. And then she has Plan Brie Uncut with her best friend Grace. She is most recently in the news because she was dating Zach Bryan. Not to get confused with Luke Bryan or Zach Brown Band or, I like my chicken fried. Not, none of those songs. But she went on BFF's podcast on Friday to talk about her relationship with Zach Bryan. He offered her $12 million and to sign an NDA so she would not discuss their tumultuous relationship. She said she was with him for a year. It was sad. I mean, anybody who's been there, she's like, I don't know how I got here. As a woman, I feel like you never do. You never realize what's happening. I feel like all of a sudden, and it's crazy because she was like, I have my career, I have my own money, I have, all these things. I'm on tour. I have this. I wasn't just his side girl to support him. She was like, but I was ready to abandon all of that to just support him and be at our house and be with the dogs and be in the backyard and go on tour with him and support him any way that I could. And the way that she describes the emotional abuse and how he would scream at her all the time. And she talks about how for her birthday that they were at his house and it was 20 minutes to midnight and she her birthday and she was like, fuck this, I'm going to bed. She was thinking that he was going to follow her because everybody was drunk. And then she goes to sleep. An hour and a half later, she wakes up to screaming and they were in his basement. So I'm assuming at least a floor, potentially 2 floors. She's hearing screaming coming from the basement. She has all of her friends there, her family, and her aunt is on the back patio or porch trying to hold him off. He's screaming at her friends and everybody's crying and Grace is crying and he's filming her and all this stuff. And I don't even know the root of why that happened. But then, he finally goes to bed and, then he starts being like, oh, I'm going to film you since your friend's filming me. And it's emotional abuse and it's disgusting. He tried to take her Bronco away. He tried to take the house that they bought together away. And I guess, he kicked her out and, she's living somewhere else now. And I just think it's so crazy. He literally got mad at her and started a week-long fight for listening to Morgan Wallen music and for singing a song of his and Noah Khan. Is that not crazy? Allegedly, those are 2 of his friends. Is that not crazy? And I love this because Dave Portnoy is he is a ride or die. And, I know he's a bit controversial, but I do like him ultimately. And I think that he's built a great brand. I think he does support women. I mean, he's supported Alex Cooper a lot. He supports Brie. And I don't know that he's supporting women, but I'm saying he's a loyal friend and he is good. And they put out 2 diss tracks. They are so fucking funny. One of which it's called The Smallest Man with him and Josh Richards. Zach Bryan has sent so many cease and desist. It's got pulled off of Twitter. It's got pulled off of YouTube, Spotify, TikTok, literally everywhere. And I was able to hear it because I think on TikTok, if they sped it up a bit, so it doesn't quote go with the rights or something like that. The song was so good. I wish I could rap, to be honest, and make a good diss track like that. And then I guess so that got taken off. So then they made another one called Country Ditty, and I heard that last night, and it's just as good. It's just Dave, but also not them talking about Zach Bryan having STDs, babe, and it was giving crabs. Who gets crabs? Is this the 90s? What's happening? I don't know. That's just kind of what I picked up from the song. So please don't come from me, Zach Bryan. I know you hate women. I know you hate Taylor Swift, but I don't have anything. You please stop. That's crazy. Because he said something about crotch critters. What do you think, that crotch critters are crabs? That's what I'm thinking. That's scary. Ugh. Anyways, what is this? Remember when in Sex and the City when Charlotte got crabs from that guy when she was you gave me crabs when they were in the Hamptons and they go to like that party of Samantha's assistant, old assistant's like party because she like stole her Rolodex. And then Charlotte was like, you gave me crabs. And he was like, well, you lied about your age. She's like, that doesn't give you the right to give me crabs. So true, dude. But who's getting crabs? So Bree didn't end up taking the $12 million and sign the NDA. And she was like, they dragged their feet too long. I was like ready to sign. And then they kept going back and forth. And I think they were waiting until after the election or something, which I don't really know what that had to do with anything, to be honest. I don't know. They were just buying time. She didn't sign it. She didn't take it, which is so brave, is so smart of her, is so great, is like such a win for women everywhere. Because if she were to sign that NDA, she would never be able to tell her story, her experiences, perspective. And I just think money isn't everything. And she made a valid point. She's like, what, I'm going to take the 12 million, buy a house and be like, oh yeah, this is the house that I bought from the abuse I endured for a year. And, you know, Zach Bryan bought this for me. Like, no fucking thank you. I agree. I would rather live in a fucking cardboard box than have a man control me like that. So no thanks. They also said something about how Dave Portnoy maybe gave her half of that or matched it. I think they debunked that. I don't think that's true. I don't think that he gave her any money, although he did say he was like telling Zach and his team that he would just sell them the 80 grand for like her Bronco, because he was like, hello, like give her fucking truck back. Like, why are you taking it? Like, stop being a douche, you know? I feel so justified in my random hatred for Zach Bryan. I never liked him. As soon as he stepped on the scene, I was like, ew, bad aura, bad vibes. You know, and I feel like I get shit for that when people are like, oh, you're such a hater. I'm not a hater, actually. I feel like I have good intuition. And this is one of those things. He cheated on his wife as soon as he got famous. He's cheated on every girl. There's a pattern. It's disgusting behavior to be 5'6" and bald. And by the way, he's stolen, allegedly, it sounds very familiar, which I think Taylor Swift should go down this route of lawsuits. She has the time. 2 of his songs sound exactly like Betty. Anyways, it was one on Taylor Swift, and then Betty was the other one on my bestie has too many albums I can't keep up. I definitely think that Taylor Swift should kind of go down the rabbit hole of suing him for like $1 or something, because literally, like, he went on Twitter rant about like saying how much he hates her, and I was like, that's just so fucking lame, dude. Anyways, he's a lame guy, and I hope his career's over. Anybody who supports him is just, I've always kind of looked at you weird, because I'm like, he has bad vibes. I just feel so justified in my random hatred. So I love that for me. Well, that's all I have for you today. If you are liking the show, please rate 5 stars on Apple and Spotify. That would really mean a lot to us. If you have any comments, questions, feedback, feel free to email me, coffeemeetsvodkapod@gmail.com. Follow us anywhere you get podcasts and on YouTube and on social media, Instagram and TikTok at coffee.meets.vodka. And I'll see you guys next week. Bye.